All right, we are back on Morning Line. Thanks for joining us. Nick Barris along with Metro Nashville Vice Mayor Jim Shulman taking your calls and questions. Obviously the focus on the coronavirus this morning, what actions the city is taking here, and the fact that other cities are doing much of the same type of thing right now. We're right now on the Plus, and we're also streaming live on Facebook at newschannel5.com and News Channel 5 Plus if you want to jump in on that. It is interesting, Jim, as I look at the state of Tennessee and where the lion's share of cases that have emerged at this point, it really is in Middle Tennessee. There's a couple, I think, over in Shelby County, a couple isolated ones over in the eastern part of the state. I don't know why this is, but Williamson County, Davidson County, and some of the surrounding counties here. I wonder why that is.
Don't know.
Yeah, again, that's something that our health experts will look into. But having Jim on this morning, we're going to take some phone calls. Wanted to say real quickly, obviously the most at-risk group are those who, to the virus, are those who have compromised immune systems or senior citizens, especially if they have health problems. You head up the Commission on Aging here in the state, and I'm just curious. I mean, we need to ask you about that. You guys have a plan with regard to this?
Yeah, so we spent all last week, started Monday morning, and then reached out to our regional partners and started talking about what we needed to do. Now, what we do is we provide home-delivered meals, like a Meals on Wheels type program. We provide in-home and personal care services for people who really need that type of help. But we also have an ombudsman program that checks on people in nursing homes. We have a public guardian program. We provide Medicare assistance. So what we did, working with our partners, was put together an initial plan that said, okay, essential services, we keep going. The other stuff, pull back. If you don't have to go into a nursing home, and right now a lot of the nursing homes are closing down anyway, or on the public guardian, if we can do our kind of checks without bothering anybody, in terms of we do our work, but we don't go into a nursing home, then do that.
All prudent stuff.
Yeah, so we're pulling back. But I will also tell you this, Nick, is that we're meeting again this morning because we may change our plan. So we have senior centers out there that we don't necessarily control. But last week we were monitoring those. They were still open on Monday, but then they started shutting down.
Yeah, so interesting. And how that changes things. My folks are in an assisted living facility. Sorry, I touched your shoulder.
That's okay.
They're in an assisted living facility, and I can't go visit them now, meaning that they can't leave. No one goes in and out. Their meals are actually being brought to their room. They have their own room, and that's the way it's going to be. And that's difficult. I talked to them by the phone, and obviously they're concerned about it, but I know that if the coronavirus were to get into their assisted living facility, it would be a disaster.
That's right.
And so that extreme measure is needed.
So that's why it's important.
Yes.
Skype.
Yeah. Oh, there's ways to communicate with them. By the way, Tez was just reacting to the question about why in Middle Tennessee. I think he or she may make a good point here that one reason Nashville may have this. Look, we are one of the crown jewels in this state, and we are the tourist draw, and a lot of people come to this city because it's a wonderful place to be, and that could be part of the equation here, why we see more cases. I don't know, but
Tez may be right. But at this point, what I will tell you, and that we're always trying to be very careful of, good, solid, truthful information.
Right.
So if I don't know, I'm going to tell you I don't know. If I've got information, I'm going to tell you. I think that's what we want, particularly with Dr. Schaffner testifying tomorrow, and the other doctors. What I like is hearing basically what do you need to know, and what do we know, and we're passing it along so people can know. And the idea is, take that information and use common sense.
Yeah, that's why we have credible people like you and the doctor. I mean, look, our goal in the media, and my goal in my reporting and on Facebook, is one thing. It's not political. It's not to scare people. It's nothing. All I care about is the health and safety of our viewers and the public in general. That's it. I have no other agenda. None. Nothing financial, nothing. All I care is about my family, your family, the health and safety of you, the viewers, and your families. That's all I care about, and I'm going to do my level best to give you the information you need to keep yourself as safe as possible. Period. There is no other agenda there for me. That's it. And I think I speak for most everyone in the media business on this. So let's go to Greg. Greg, good morning. Hi, Greg.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
Hey, I hope I don't get taken off there before I can say what I'd really like to say. Everything's always called a conspiracy when the truth actually gets out there. There is a hidden agenda behind all this. That's the way our government works. They have an agenda. They have a whole list of laws they want to start passing. I'm comparing this to a 9/11 type event. where when 9/11 hit, all of a sudden all of our rights got taken away from us, all the Patriot Act, all that stuff. This is the same thing.
I just don't have time for that. All right, let's go to Melinda. Melinda, good morning, Melinda. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I have a kind of like 3 different questions, but
Sure.
One is, our law enforcement, when they go on calls and stuff, they're going to people's houses. So why don't we give them something to like the face mask like our medical people do? That's one question. Secondly, what about the ones who have just died? People that were pretty healthy and then they just up and died. And were they tested? Do they know the reason why they died within the last, say, 2 weeks? And have they infected people? Did they not know they had this? And thirdly, those sanctions, is there any kind of sanctions for people that feel like they can just open and go on with life and keep their business running while everybody else is trying to keep this from spreading? That's so careless.
Okay, real quick, I'll let you answer those, but the second question about deaths, anyway, we just got notice that Kentucky is reporting its first coronavirus fatality. As far as I know, we haven't had one yet in Tennessee. So first, with regard to law enforcement and maybe any other public employee or worker that has a lot of contact, what do you think?
So everybody's taking precautions. Everybody in the city is taking the necessary precautions. What's very difficult at this point is that, obviously, and we haven't really talked about it, is that we're also recovering from a tornado. So we have people that need help from the tornado at the same time we're trying to deal with this virus. But I believe that everyone in law enforcement, and after taking instructions from our Department of Health, are taking all the necessary precautions that they need to, because they are our first responders. They're out there talking to people. See a lot of people with masks on. Sometimes, they're saying sometimes that works, sometimes that doesn't. But they're all practicing those safeguards. Now, where I thought Melinda was going with that question is, if law enforcement is going to be out there, can they also maybe help with providing meals to seniors who are locked in? On the way over here, I heard some story about people stepping up and providing, like a restaurant. It wasn't here, it was in another city. Actually just calling out to people and saying, look, if you can't get out, we'll deliver meals for you.
Right.
So this is where, what we were talking about before, we're innovative.
Right.
We try to come up with different ways to help people without jeopardizing their health or our health or anything else like that. So I love the mask idea. I'll pass that along.
Yep.
In terms of, obviously...
We don't know about past deaths that maybe weren't linked to coronavirus, and are they going back to check and see if perhaps that was, which is an interesting question, but we don't know that.
Right. So I'm not sure about that. We haven't had that situation, I think, in Tennessee. We've got, I know, 17 cases here, but I know there are deaths other parts in the country. And so I don't know what they've done with that. CDC would have to say that. In terms of the sanctions and people that go on with life, it's everybody's responsibility.
Sure.
I think you made an excellent point before, and that is, like people on Saturday night running around and thinking, okay, well, I'm young, I'm healthy, if I get it, it'll be a mild case, whatever. But they are also, if they get it, they become a carrier. And then they could impact parents, older people, and then they're responsible.
Yeah.
And so that's why they need to take this seriously. Because, again, if they think that it's okay because they can handle it, they got to remember that they could be a spreader of this thing.
Exactly, and not even know they're carrying it at that point. There have been some reports that those who are not showing any symptoms have heavier viral loads than those who actually are sick with it.
That's right.
And for how long they walk around, making them very contagious. So just, it's not just about you. It's the society as a whole, making sure everyone stays healthy. We have another Melinda. Hi, Melinda. Are you there, Melinda?
I am.
Go ahead, ma'am.
My question is, since all the schools are closing, what about daycare centers? Should they be taking precautions?
Yeah, I've had people ask me that as well on Facebook, and I don't know if, as far as I know, and daycares are going to be more important than ever before, especially with some of these younger children that maybe aren't in school right now. Have you heard anything with regard to daycares?
Have not heard. That would be like a Department of Human Services from the state standpoint, and the governor. I think they probably have the ability to close them down, but I don't know that yet.
Yeah.
But the benefit of calls like this is that we can certainly try to go find out the answers and then give them back to you, and then you can post them.
Sure. Oh, and we will, as we've been doing all along. And I imagine most folks who go to daycares are going to have alerts and notices from them if there's any change. But I'm not sure. With daycares, with little children coming in, if the daycare is secure and all that, that may be a safe place for the kids, you know?
Well, so obviously this is moving so quickly, and things are shutting down very promptly. And then we're on spring break, okay? So in metro schools, spring break comes at I guess a fortunate time, because you don't have to worry about kids being in school. But so hopefully parents were planning on what they were going to do during this period of time anyway. But what happens if the schools, just remain closed for the duration?
Yeah.
What are parents supposed to do? Now you're trying to figure out if parents can work from home, that type of thing. So it's moving constantly, and the best thing I can do is tell people to just pay attention to news stations like yours, and you'll just keep providing them information.
Gotcha.
And so will we. That's the benefit, and so people can make decisions accordingly.
Jim Shulman, Vice Mayor, with us today, taking comments and calls on Facebook. If you want to, message us there, I'll take a scroll through that. But let's go to Ann next. Ann, good morning. Hi, Ann. Hello, Ann. Did I take the wrong one? Maybe I did. Let's see. I think she's on 4. My mistake. Go ahead, Ann. I'm sorry. I got you that time. I hit the wrong button.
Okay. Good morning. First, let me say I'm being serious with my call. I have a daughter that lives in New York that pretty much thinks she's invincible. She's, as Nick knows, spent a year walking from Delaware to California by herself. She's run through vineyards in Italy, and unfortunately, she has spent a week and a half in an apartment by herself because of the coronavirus. And she has literally driven me crazy because I fall into the stay-at-home geriatric crowd. And she is concerned about my health and my mother-in-law's health because she is concerned that Nashvillians and Tennesseans are not responding effectively. And I have watched her mental health crumble each and every day she has been alone in her apartment. Her mental health is crumbling.
Hang tight on, and Ann, we're just up against the break. I wanted to let him say this one note, otherwise we would have let her finish, but we have to take a break. Real quickly though, we talk about the physical part of this. It's a mental for a lot. Not only her, but her daughter worried about her.
So what I would do is, and what you can do is, her daughter's doing the right thing by staying in, but do stuff. Make those phone calls, get her friends to call. The benefit of where we are right now with social interaction, we can have social interaction without actually being with each other. So phone calls, internet, Facebook, all those different things. Keep her mental health sound, okay? Make sure she doesn't panic.
Yeah.
Keep her calm, talk to her. You can play games over the phone. You can do all that stuff. Watch a show together, in different places if you have to do that. She's doing the right thing. Her daughter's doing exactly the right thing.
Yeah.
But tell them not to panic. She's staying inside. She'll be fine.
That's the trick. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, more of your comments from Facebook as well as on the phone here. If you want to join us, 737-7587. Vice Mayor Jim Shulman with us here in Nashville. Back with more right after this.